Okay. So thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Michelle Croft. I'm the Director of Community Impact at the Community Foundation of Sarasota County. Joining me from the Community Foundation today is my friend Allison. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hello, I am the manager of events and special projects, so I will be working with you on your sponsorship.
And Liliana.
Hello, I'm Liliana and I'm the coordinator of marketing and events.
And thank you everyone for joining us. I am going to do my very best to share my screen right now. And here we go. All right. Are folks able to see a PowerPoint presentation that's going really fast? Are you able to see that?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. So hopefully you're at the right place. This is the sponsorship application information session. That's what we'll be going over today, how you can apply for a sponsorship from the Community Foundation of Sarasota County. At the Community Foundation, we believe in community impact powered by philanthropy. For over 46 years, we've listened to our donors and connected them with nonprofits in the community that match with their interests and are making meaningful impact in 4 counties that we serve. So we actually, despite our name, we serve Sarasota, Manatee, Charlotte, and DeSoto counties. And over those 46 years, the Community Foundation has what makes us a little bit unique in the foundation space is that we have more than 1,600 individual funds. And while many of those funds are still advised by the donor that created them, and those are called donor advised funds, we call them DAFs, many other funds have been left to us in their legacy and are managed by the Community Impact Team. And those are the funds that we use to support competitive grant programs, sponsorships being one of them. And each of those donor funds has a specific purpose that was articulated by that donor. And it's our honor to steward those funds out into the community in accordance with their wishes. It is also our legal obligation to do so, and we take it very seriously. So we need to use those funds to match to appropriate requests. And each year, the Community Foundation thoughtfully allocates our grant making dollars to support all of the work that we do in the grant making space. So our grant cycles, our strategic priorities, which include health, human services, economic mobility, disaster recovery and resilience, arts and culture, animal welfare, nonprofit capacity building, just to name a few. And event sponsorships represent one of those. But as we consider all of their funds and how the donors wished us to allocate those out in the community, frequently they are for direct programming to nonprofits. So with that, we do allocate funds for sponsorships, but they represent one of our smallest funding priority areas. We do recognize the important role that fundraising plays in supporting nonprofit organizations, and we make every effort to provide sponsorships whenever possible. However, because sponsorship funding is limited, we are unable to support every request that we receive. We hope that this information session will help you better understand our process, answer any questions that you might have, and we'll try to be as efficient with your time as possible. So we'll try to zoom through this. So that was a bit of an overview. As we consider our sponsorship applications as a community foundation, what we generally support and what our program is designed to support are ticketed events. So your traditional, your lunches, your breakfasts, your galas, events that people can purchase a ticket and support you in that way. What we do not sponsor are walks and runs, festivals, golf tournaments, skeet shoots, things like that. If you have any questions, you can reach out, but generally speaking, it would be a ticketed event that you would apply for a sponsorship for. All of our sponsorship requests should go through our online grant making platform. So even if you mailed it to us or you sent us an email about it, we're just going to send you right back to the grant application platform. So if all of our applications need to be coming through that platform. Nonprofits are encouraged, you notice how this is like highlighted because we're probably going to say it a couple of times. Please apply for a sponsorship as soon as you have those details finalized. As I mentioned, we allocate a certain amount of funds for sponsorships, and once they're gone, we close our application down. So as soon as you know when your event is, get in there and complete that application. As with most of our grant making programs, our eligibility requirements are pretty consistent. You need to be a 501c3 nonprofit organization, have primary services located in one of our 4 counties, Sarasota, Manatee, Charlotte, or DeSoto, and you have a current profile in the giving partner. We love this time of year. Every 2 years, we have like this perfect storm. It's right after the Giving Challenge. So most of our nonprofits are all caught up. So most of you probably have a current giving partner profile, but please check that. We cannot approve any grants to an organization who has an expired giving partner profile. Also, for any of our grant making, we do check to see if you have any outstanding grant reports to the Community Foundation. So if you've received any grants from us in the past, you should have reported on those. Even if it's a sponsorship, we do have a follow-up to those. We just want to know how the event went, how many people showed up, did it meet your expectations? So every award that you receive as a grant from us, we're going to look for a follow-up or a grant report for you. So if you are questioning if you have any that are overdue, you can reach out to the community impact team. There's a little note here. We did go through a systems conversion last year. So any grant that you've received after May 1st of 2025, you will find that in the same place where you'll be applying for this sponsorship. So that's easy. You'd be able to see it right when you logged in. It would say overdue grant report or due grant report. If it was prior to May 1st of 2025, it's in our other platform. We can help you find the link to that if you think it might be there. It's always good to be kept up to date on your reporting requirements to the Community Foundation. This is what everyone's waiting for, right? How much money can I ask for? So sponsorship requests should not exceed $5,000. Our average space is around $1,500. So just consider that as you're putting in your request. I know everyone wants that gold level, that $20,000. It's not going to likely be approved through our process. We just don't have the funds to support those type of requests. If you do want to request over $5,000, please reach out to us so we can have a conversation in advance and discuss if it's a space that makes sense for us, or maybe make a recommendation to you before you submit your application on what would be an appropriate request. We try to always be as transparent as possible with how we review applications at the Community Foundation. So our sponsorship grant process mirrors a lot of our other grant making processes where it's done by committee. It's not just one person. I always put that approved stamp whenever I do this slide. I did development and grant writing and fundraising for 10 years, and I always wondered where my grants went and who saw them and how did it work. And I always envisioned there was just somebody with a big stamp that said yes or approved or denied. So we really take care in how we review all of our grant applications. Initially, our team will look at it and make sure you meet those eligibility criteria that we discussed earlier, that all your ducks are in a row, and then it will go to a committee process where it will be reviewed. And with that, we will consider how much funding we have available. Do the funds that we have match with the organization that is making a request? Can we match make a donor fund that aligns with the work of that nonprofit and their mission? What our staff's capacity is to attend your event. This is important. When we sponsor an event, we want to be able to show up for you. And so as we consider our sponsorship requests, we also look at our ability to be able to attend that event, what day it's on, how many other events are at the same time. And does the mission of the nonprofit align with the strategic priorities of us as a community foundation? Nonprofits that their mission alignment is aligned with our initiatives are more likely to be successful than other requests. And if you do get approved for a sponsorship, you'll get an email from us. Congratulations. And then the community impact team passes the baton onto the communication and strategies team, and that's where Allison steps in.
Hello, thank you, Michelle. So once your sponsorship is approved, you'll be introduced to the right people over here on our end, and that's Liliana and myself. And we will help to guide you through the rest of the process. Our team will confirm the basics, your contact person, event details, and then we're going to work through your sponsorship benefits together, whether that's tickets, recognition, deadlines, or speaking opportunities. And the sooner we have that information, the easier the planning becomes. So I know oftentimes that's a little bit of a struggle, but as soon as you're able to get it to us, that's super helpful on our end. And if anything pops up and if you need help along the way, Liliana and myself are just a phone call or an email away. I think that's everything from me, Michelle. I'm sending it back to you.
Allison. So if you've applied for a sponsorship from us in the past, you might notice that we've made a few changes this year. So one of them is that rather than having a rolling deadline process where we were reviewing sponsorships every 2 weeks, we have set it up to mirror really the rest of our grant making practices. So it's going to fall within some cycles. So these are the deadlines for those cycles. The first is August 1st. So any applications that are submitted prior to that will get reviewed together. And then as soon as that application closes, a new one will open. And then the deadline for that one will be October 1st, subsequently December 1st. As I mentioned previously, as soon as funding is exhausted, we'll close down the process. That being said, if after December 1st we still have funding available, we'll reopen the application and post on our website the deadline for that extended opportunity. Another difference this year is that we are looking for one application for all of your events for the year. So we hope that you're able to articulate all of those events in one space. If you have an event that is coming up very soon, please don't wait until you figure out whatever one is going to happen in the spring. In that case, please just submit it now because we want to be able to review that in time for your marketing deadline for us to be able to work with you around those details. But if you are able, and whenever possible, because we want to be able to consider all of your events together as one package and make a decision that way. If you have any questions about that, please just reach out. And again, sponsorships over 5,000, please check with us before submitting. And oh my gosh, I'm going to say it again. Please apply as soon as possible. It does take a couple of weeks for this process to go through. So you might apply on August 1st, but it's going to take us a few weeks to review all the applications, make a decision, get back to you. So if your event is the beginning of September, or if it's later in the year and we don't have enough time, we don't think we're going to be able to get people there or get it processed, we might not approve it for a sponsorship if the timing is just too tight. So the sooner, the better. So we have in addition to this information session, another way we can help you answer your questions about this grant cycle or any grant cycle or anything that has to do with grant making or community impact. Every Friday at 11 o'clock, the community impact team has open office hours. The link is on our website. It'll be on each page wherever we offer a grant opportunity. It's also in the signature line of every member of the community impact team's email. So if you've received an email from any of us in the last year, the link is in there. It never changes. So every Friday, you can just hop on at any time between 11 a.m. and noon, and we're there literally just to answer your questions. You don't have to, you can pop in, get your question answered, and head out for the day. So if after this you feel like you had some lingering questions, please at any point feel free to use that office hours as a resource. Please make sure you're signed up for our nonprofit newsletter. That newsletter has lots of information for you, which also includes other grant opportunities throughout the course of the year, and updates when things may change. And if you are approved for a grant, we do have our press kit is available online, so you can learn a little bit about what the acknowledgement process would look like. So you'll also get that in an email from our team, but it's helpful to know it's available online if you want to review it. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing this screen, I think. Okay, and I am going to walk you into the application quickly so you can see what it would look like when you apply. The link is live on our website. If you go onto the Community Foundation's website, go to the tab where it says Nonprofit, Grant Opportunities, Sponsorships. That's where you'll find it. And if you click on that link, my share opportunity has, give me one. Oh, here we go. Okay. So if you were a nonprofit going to our main page, I've created a test account here. You would see the different opportunities that are available to a nonprofit. Right now, we have a couple. And you would see your sponsorship application. You'll see here that it closes on August 1st. You'd hit the apply button, and this should walk you through. It's pretty self-explanatory. There's one area that's a little bit newer, so I wanted to highlight it. If you've never applied for a grant from the Community Foundation, you'll need to set up an organization profile as well as a profile for yourself. Once it's set up, you don't ever have to do it again. And if someone at your organization, if you've received any grant from us, it's likely your organization's already set up. So you would just set a profile up, a user profile up for yourself as an individual, and then just say, oh, I am with, and there's a drop-down screen and you select the nonprofit that you're with. Please check that drop-down before you create another whole profile, because your organization may likely already exist. We're going to ask you all about your giving partner profile status. You guys are way ahead of the game. You can all click, I attended the virtual information session right here, so you're already getting points right there. We ask that you provide a contact name and a direct phone number if we have any questions. Please provide a direct phone number. I can't tell you how frequently we want to call and ask a nonprofit a question. We're looking to award them a grant and we can't get hold of anybody. Please let us know who we can get. The quicker we can get our questions answered, the quicker we can move your application through the process. I promise we're not using it for anything else. We like to know the operating budget of your organization, so please provide that. That helps us understand the size of your organization in relation to the amount of funding that you're requesting, the size of the event that you're holding. It helps us have a little bit of a better understanding of your work. We'd like to know how many people you think will be attending your events. We do ask that if you are requesting for multiple events, just total it all in this space. Sponsorship benefits. This is pretty self-explanatory, but as the organization that would be supporting your event, what kind of recognition or opportunities would we be provided? That includes speaking, signage, logo placement, those types of things. Please help us understand that in this space. We'd love to see your whole sponsorship packet deck. Most organizations have like a one-pager or a little packet put together of all the sponsorships. Please upload that. Our committee would like to see all of the opportunities. We know you're going to always apply for the 5,000. I appreciate that. But please allow us the opportunity to know what other options are available. And if you have any other additional information, there's a space where you can upload a file there. How you plan to use the funds that you raise from your event. Please don't overthink this. If you're trying to raise unrestricted dollars for your nonprofit, that's a great answer. We appreciate that. That's what events are generally for. But sometimes people host events that are specifically raising funds for a program. We'd just love to learn that. That's helpful for us. This next is a little bit different than we've done, and because this is providing the opportunity for you to apply for multiple events at one time. So and if you only have one, just fill out the one line and move on. But if you have more than one, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to fill in the name of the event, the amount, the date and time, where it is, and the marketing deadline. You'll notice that this column, the amount requested at the event, will total at the bottom, and that's so we can see your total amount that you've requested. If you have any additional details you want to provide, you can put that here. We'd love to just know a little bit more about your event in your own words. It can just be a couple of sentences. And then you will hit submit, and that's it. You can save it and come back to it later. Just make sure you remember to hit submit before the deadline. Okay, I would love to provide you the opportunity to ask any questions. If you don't want to ask your question and have it recorded, at the end, I will stop the recording and ask people if they want to do their questions then, or you can come on our office hours. We don't record those. We have found, though, when we record them, sometimes the questions you ask are going to help people that watch it later. So if you don't mind having it recorded, please ask your question now.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
Hi. The question for me, and I'm not sure if you're the person that I emailed previously about this, is the purpose for our event. It is a ticketed event. It's happening in September. The proceeds from the event is going toward a new church, but only a partial part of it is. The other part is going to our food pantry. So it is a dual purpose. And I know the question before, I mean, the concern was because some of the proceeds are going toward our new church, we may not be able to apply for this sponsorship grant. So, and we do have 4 levels of sponsorships available for this event. So that's the loaded question. Should I apply anyways and see what happens, or?
Is there a nonprofit that is associated with the event, or is it only the church?
It's just the church. We're a nonprofit. We have a thriving food pantry in the back.
Hmm.
The church is a Hispanic American church,
Hmm.
and we're just overflowing, and we just need a new church. But the food pantry, because of the costs from the All Faith Food Bank, um, it's been a challenge to try and get money
Sure.
for our food pantry. It's been a real challenge. So that's why part of the proceeds will be going to the food pantry and the other part to the new church.
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you for supporting your community in that way. I know how important, um, food pantries, are right now. Do you have a giving partner profile? Does the church have a giving
Yes.
partner profile?
I
Okay.
made sure it was set up because we missed the April event. It was
Oh,
difficult for me to walk this through with our church and with the diocese, but
sure.
we're there now. We're
Then
approved.
you can
We're
apply.
running, so
Yeah,
we'll have to
then
keep
you
it
can
that way
apply.
till the next event. Yeah.
Okay, you can apply. Just include that information in the details, the event details, how the proceeds will be used. It's perfect.
Okay. All right. Thank
Mhm.
you.
You bet.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
Yeah, I was curious, if we have multiple events under the application, would you be looking to attend all of the events listed as, or just one, or how would that work out?
We would have to review that and look at it. We just have that's part of our process. So, one event might make more sense for us to sponsor than another, but we'd love to see all of them so we can, and one might just be a better day, a better date for either our staff or individuals that we might invite.
Very good. And what characteristics distinguish a strong application in particular?
So generally, I would say a nonprofit that we have worked with in the past, or it's aligned with our mission, with the initiatives of the Community Foundation. So if you look at our website, you'll see that there's 3 distinct areas: community care, empowerment and success, belonging and culture. And under each of those are the types of programs that we generally support through either through donor advised funds or particularly through our grant making. So if a nonprofit is doing work that's far afield of what we generally support, it's unlikely that we would have a sponsored event by that organization. So strong mission alignment, reasonable request, good benefits to us as an organization, and it would make sense for us as a staff to be able to attend.
Very good. Thank you.
You bet.
Hey, Michelle. Thank you guys for hosting this.
Absolutely.
I wanted to ask, I know that the requirements were a ticketed event. What if it's a event that requires registration, but it's free to the community?
Sure. We get this question a lot. I would recommend you reach out to us separately and we'll look at, because that's going to be more, I know it's an event, it's more of a program. It's more of, something where you're doing the work, it's part of the mission of your organization. It's more of a program rather than a ticketed fundraising event. So we would look at that differently. So I would reach out to Impact, or you can reach out to me directly.
Sure. I will. I have a couple of other questions I'll reach out to you about. Thank you.
Of course. That is a question we get all of the time. So thank you for asking it. And I'm going to make a mental note to add it to next time. That's why we try to say ticketed events. I know lots of organizations do these incredible community events that they offer free of charge to their constituents in the community. That's more of a program. Sometimes there can be overlap, which is why we just handle it on a case-by-case basis. I was sharing my screen for so long, I didn't appreciate how many people had joined us. This is wonderful. I love seeing all these nonprofit friends showing up. So thanks for doing that.